Most people get in trouble for bad grades or showing up late or saying that someone's mom has cooties. My parents got called because I almost started a fire. Back when I was but a small and quirky child, I really loved going to science camp each summer. I got to open up old calculators and learn about engineering and generally mess around with stuff that I probably shouldn't, like electricity. Now at science camp each year, there was a big project that each kid would work on in a group with a couple other nerdlings, and I was the king of nerdlings. And so of course I wanted to go all out. That year, we had been tasked with the very scientific, simple, and safe project of making a marble racing course. I think they were trying to teach us about inertia or something, but all my little brain could think about was how I could get my marble to backside 180 ollie off an old computer tower. Sick. I was dead set on this being the greatest marble racing course ever made, which apparently is not just a weird me thing, like most things are. There are more people interested in marble racing than the population of Jersey. Not New Jersey, the original Jersey that apparently was terrible enough that they had to go make a new one. And look how that turned out. We are marbles. Join us. Hey, I bet that loser watches marble races by himself. Ha! Shut up, John Paul! At least people on the internet understand me. I was foaming at the mouth, bouncing around like a feral animal, ready to start this project, but the camp counselor told us that this was a group project. And as everyone who has worked in groups before knows, you need friends to do that. And I didn't have any. Because I was a feral animal. But of course, the camp couldn't let my rabies stick just to me, and so I was given a government-assigned friend. I don't remember their names, so let's go with a common name, like Larry. Yeah, I like you, Larry. Larry was one of those kids who brought the cool scraps to camp. Most families gave their kids a broken alarm clock and a calculator and told them to make a day of it, as if that was a thing you could do with a broken alarm clock and a calculator at the age of 9. Hooray, I'm having so much fun writing what time it isn't. Maybe later I'll write down the same numbers and be slightly more wrong. But Larry, he was different. Of all the cool scraps he brought, this was the coolest cuke of the crop, the prettiest pickle in the patch, the dapperest dill in the jar. He had a computer tower, which is the exact thing a science camp kid thinks is cool. But it totally was though, cause it provided such a nice sense of verticality and it could act as scaffolding for decorations, and I had a very active social life growing up, and I just built a functional marble racetrack, and who's the loser now, John Paul? Huh? I have Larry now. Yeah, you tell him. And I also had a working marble racetrack. The only problem with it, though, was that it looked a little plain to me. Where was the heat, the flavor, the pizzazz? I wanted all 11 herbs and spices. I didn't just want a marble track, no, I wanted a marble stage. And so I searched the scraps, looking for something that could capture the speed and elegance of marble racing. And what I found was a computer fan with a wall plug. Perfect! And so, like any reasonable, smart, dangerously inexperienced wild child, I decided to test the fan before putting it on the tower. So I walked over to the power outlet, and I took the plug, and I looked at the power outlet, and I looked at the plug, and I looked at the power outlet, and I looked at the... Have you ever made a noise that sounded and looked like a firecracker in a room full of small, young humans? No? Well, let me tell you, the adults in the room, they ain't gonna like it very much. Now, I do not recall them ever telling me not to do what I did, but that didn't stop them from telling my parents, which was totally fair. Kids gotta learn not to do stupid stuff, and parents gotta know when their kids do stupid stuff. And I was lucky, because my parents knew it was an accident and they weren't mad at me. When the counselor told my mom what had happened, she was just kinda like, okay, and? Ma'am, your child blew up a capacitor in class. Did I stutter? This is still unacceptable behavior. She wasn't upset because I had learned my lesson already, that responsibility and safety should come before passion, no matter how cool you think something is. And not to play with electricity.